Hello, sir.
Good day.
Having a rough day, are we?
Just every day's a reminder of life choices and how they catch up to you.
What life choices?
Not becoming a plumber.
I know. You can always go back. Hey, the happiest people are those who find their way in their 40s.
I don't know that that's the happiest way, but the past few days, cutting lawns, driving for Uber, a lot of options out there that I think I would be happier with. But it's fine. It's great. It's fine. Nothing says fulfilling life like waking up and staring at the ceiling for 30 minutes before you get the strength to swing your feet onto the floor.
Oh, see, I don't even think about work. I jump up.
And go to?
Now I've got my sunlight therapy lamp. So I walk on the treadmill while I stare into my lamp for a few minutes.
So you're literally trying to blind yourself so you can't look at your computer screen to do your work.
Maybe that's why I've got crazy headaches the past couple of days.
It's like an airplane light.
It's so bright. It's brighter. It's 10,000 lux.
And you're staring at it.
Well, pretty much, yeah.
Well, pro tip, you don't have the best eyesight to begin with. I don't think you need to make it worse.
Yeah, I'm not, I do look down and I've raised my computer screen. Did you know looking up slightly helps you alert your brain? Versus down puts you into sleepy mode.
Or lets you hide the fact that you're crying for people on your Zoom call.
Yeah. Have you cried today on people on your Zoom?
No, I have not cried on my Zoom call.
Have you felt like crying?
I think I'm gaining a reputation because I made a couple jokes about drinking in the garage. So I think there might be people that are worried about me.
I almost cried today. And I made a comment about a certain academic institution that I just found out the person I was talking to graduated from. So
classic Caroline.
Yeah. I was just,
Is your doctorate in putting your foot in your mouth?
That's my ADHD, man. I just don't think.
And yet you're the most educated in the house.
Yep. I was just going to say, am I? But yes, I am.
Yeah, 100% you are, doctor.
I am, yeah.
What do you think I'm saddled with for?
Well, I took it to mean smartest. But
you probably are that too. You
no.
just sometimes struggle to let that out in the world.
No, smart, depends on what we're talking about. Music smart? Nope. All three of you would beat me in that.
Let's rank our children. Who's the smartest of our kids? Kids, stop listening now. Don't listen to this part of the podcast.
Well, it depends. Maya knows so much about
her history knowledge.
Everything. And not just history, so a wide range of things. But Willow knows the lyrics to every song.
Willow's more attuned to specific current stuff.
And her social emotional intelligence, I would say, is stronger than her sister's.
I was kidding. I wasn't looking to rank the children, but let's go back to...
Okay, well, then I'm a bad parent for ranking. I guess it just depends.
No, it's not.
We're all smart in our own way. Dogs, we can rate them.
All three of them are tied for first place as dumbest animals in the house.
Sunny, I usually rank her as the lowest in intelligence, but
she's smart.
She knows how to get out of the gate. She helps herself out of the gate, the baby gate that we have.
And she waits until the other two are in full view, does it, and then just dusts them see ya. And those two clowns sit there perplexed as to how she disappeared.
You'd think that they would be on her tail so they could get through with her.
They're too scared of the gate.
Yeah.
Sunny's overcome her fears. So Sunny might not be the smartest, but she's the bravest.
Yeah. And now she's got the freedom.
She roams the house.
Oh, yeah.
Loves it. The puppy just doesn't understand that when someone leaves the room, they don't stop existing. She still freaks out because she thinks everybody dies.
No.
Yeah.
No, because she'll wait at the bottom of the stairs.
She'll wait because she's got nowhere else to wait. She doesn't think anybody's up there. I've watched her when she didn't think I was there. She truly thinks she's alone and just doesn't understand that she can go do something else.
Doesn't she come down to the basement?
She did today. Surprised her I was there. I've been there all day. She literally came in the door and stopped. And I'm like, dude, I've been here for 8 hours. She was shocked. Shocked. And then when she saw that the other two dogs were on the couch, mind blown.
Well, maybe dogs don't have object permanence. Babies, do you know what age babies develop that?
You've told me, but I can't remember.
Well, by 6 months. I mean, it's a range. I don't want to scare anyone, but by 6 months, they should know that
If your kid's
people
three,
do,
yeah, if your kid's 3 and they're still struggling, maybe get that checked.
if they don't know about you're hiding behind the blanket,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
problem.
fair. That's fair.
So, Andrew, are you feeling lonely or sad?
No, no, I feel awesome.
Awesome. Well, you're going to nerd night tonight. You're good with friends. You go to nerd night regularly. You go
Going
golfing
Thursday.
You got your one friend you talk to several times a day. You talk to him more than you talk to any of us, really.
Yeah, but that's your choices, not mine. Like, I'll talk to you guys, no problem. You guys ignore me.
But the topic it's been coming up a lot at the office lately, and
What's an acceptable level of drinking?
No,
Okay.
just male loneliness.
Oh,
Yeah. And so there's a couple of things, so for parents, dad loneliness is a big thing. And one thing that I don't think we talk enough of is postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety for dads, too. So it was this whole thinking and talking about loneliness amongst men that I was then also thinking about that piece. And it's definitely not addressed. So, I don't know. Maybe I can go into framing
however you want to.
Symptoms of it, because it's not just, and men have hormones too. There are hormonal changes for men. Yeah.
Nope.
Faking his head.
Nope.
Not to the same extent, obviously, and not as well known as for women, but there's still, when we're looking at some of the symptoms, there's still irritability, trouble sleeping, hopelessness, sadness, worthlessness, lots of energy, fatigue loss, difficulty making decisions. With the anxiety, it's usually, fear about doing something. Actually, it's quite normal. I think we need to normalize this, just the anxiety that we have around, am I doing it right? Right? Are we going to hurt the baby? There is an extreme where it sort of crosses the line, but I remember just standing at the train platform once with the baby in a stroller, and my brain just went to pushing it off, like pushing the stroller off the ramp in front of the train and what would happen. Our brain is a prediction-making machine, so it's always making predictions about worst-case scenarios. So that's why we have those wonky thoughts. It's not because we're crazy. And then if you're sleep deprived on top of that too, that just makes a problem too. So I don't know. I don't know if this is something that you've experienced. It doesn't even have to be the postpartum depression, but just some of those feelings of not knowing what to do or loneliness, or if you've seen it in friends.
Yeah, it exists. It definitely exists, but society isn't well built right now to acknowledge a man's perspective in a way that is equalized or given equal importance as that of a woman. And I say that because for my entire life, it has been drilled into my head: happy wife, happy life. You've got to treat your queen right. Like, all these sayings are related to the man's obligation to make sure that the women in their lives are taken care of in whatever way possible. There is no reciprocal sayings in any capacity. And it goes so far as to, and I've had people say this when we had the kids originally, that I've literally had people say to me, well, your opinion doesn't really matter. Okay, cool.
Really?
Thanks. Oh yeah, people would say that to me, they would say it in a joking way, but it was always a girl, typically an older girl, like a grandma or whatever. That's their perception, is you are there to do things and to make sure that your wife is completely taken care of, and that's all that matters. And so within that, you get into this headspace that over time you truly, in a lot of ways, don't exist. You don't. There's no importance associated with you or your position, other than to, do whatever is asked upon you. And there is an amount of pushback that if you do push back, it's not met well. And I don't know that people really see that or understand that. And yeah, over time, you just move on from it. I'm not saying this is a constant thing. Like, it's not like I wake up and there's an oppression or anything, but yeah, absolutely. The expectation of the male's involvement in the child and family unit has skyrocketed from my dad's generation, his dad's generation. And there's good relationships, I think, balance that, but society itself sees no real obligation to balance the expectations both ways.
Well, and I mean, just the masculinity piece, right? It's not as welcomed or expected or normalized. I think there's a shift, but it's still not to the same extent in just terms of showing and sharing emotions, right? But even just looking, and thinking about this, I mean, there's all of these screeners for women. I mean, I was screened and kept at the hospital because they wanted to make sure I was doing okay. Did they ever check in with you?
No.
How is dad doing?
No one even cared. The only thing I got asked was, did you install a car seat and is it done right? It was the only interaction I had with the nursing staff.
Right. And which is, what would have you liked though, too? That's the other side of it.
I don't know how to answer that because I've been told that it doesn't matter. Like, literally, my brain is no longer wired in a way that I can put myself in the first position in that question.
Right.
It's just not.
Yeah. And I think it's sad. So there is that piece too, right? Like, nobody's thinking about all of the changes for dads as well. And I know you've talked about it before, like just the helplessness. You didn't know what to do with the baby because, especially when they're nursing, I think it maybe is easier when they're not nursing, because you can still do bottles, but we exclusively nursed for a long time. We didn't even use bottles for a while. So, I mean, you were really helpful in waking and changing and doing all of the things in between, but there's not the same level of bonding that goes on. And I mean, I was in survival mode as well in the beginning, but there is still, like, I think it was probably once they were one, you started feeling like there was opportunities to connect because they now realize that you're another person in their life.
And that's the thing, like, you are in survival mode as the mom, and that's absolutely valid, but everything is geared towards addressing that. Everything.
Yeah.
Like, the nurse came to check on you and the baby. The nurse came to check to make sure that everything was set up so that you and the baby were cool. And I was given instructions on what I needed to do. And that was it. Are you sleeping well? Are you doing nothing? It was, Kate, cool, see you later. You need to make sure this is done. Yeah, sure, no problem. Right. And so, yeah, absolutely. And again, even now, my brain is pushing to the forefront the need that I feel like I have to say, but I know you were going through it too. Like, it's really making, like, I'm rationalizing the fact that I'm even saying anything like this to very quickly make sure that I'm putting the spotlight back on the fact that yours is just as important.
But, and I'm aware, and I know we talked, like, I felt bad because you were getting minimal sleep too. I mean, at that time you were going to bed so late, so it did kind of, and I always woke up early. And so that kind of helped, but you were just as sleep deprived as I was. Right. And plus you still had to go to work. I mean, I was back at work very quickly within weeks. I didn't have very long, or like school and stuff, but you still had to juggle all of those other demands as well as the baby too. So, and so there are all of those pieces, and there's lots of risk factors, right? Especially if you don't have a support system for your own self. And I think, like, at the time of our first one, we had family around, but I know that there's a lot of people out there who don't have family. So we were, helpful in that regard. I guess, and then it can just expand to loneliness and, alienation from the family. I don't know if we've ever had that because we stayed connected and we talked quite a bit.
About alienation. Like, there's alienation in the moment, but I don't know if I've ever felt alienated from the family. I'm more alienated now that the three of you are so close in personality and kind of behaviors. You guys will just, like, literally nest together, and it's like, okay, well, they're off doing their thing. I'll just go cut the grass or whatever, right? Because, and again, it's not anything deliberate. It's not, I'm rationalizing it, but it's not It's not that there's anything that you guys are doing to exclude me. It's that the similarities in kind of how you guys hang out and what you like to do just naturally gravitates you as a unit when you get a chance.
Oh, see, I see like if that happens with you, because I don't have any interest. The only things that we'll go and nest to do is to go watch a show. But for you, like you guys have, like you and Maya went to the market and you go to the record store, and,
Yeah.
you, so,
But those are all things as well that everybody else is included in from time to time. It's not an exclusive thing. You guys, when you hang out, it's typically you guys.
mm,
And it's not like, yeah, you watch TV and stuff, and I just don't. I don't sit and watch TV anymore as much as I used to. But it's not even that. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. There's just a connectedness between the three of you as girls that I think is just it's just natural, right? So you'll kind of like if the two of you are doing something, the third gravitates, like they're pulled into that kind of orbit, right?
right,
And it could be diving in and looking at pictures for 5 hours, right?
right,
Like things like that that naturally occur that don't. And again, it's not that there's any specific action to exclude anybody, but you see it, right? You guys are very comfortable with each other. You do like hanging out with each other. You'll kind of group off and do whatever. That doesn't naturally happen with me, right? And again, it's fine, but it does create an interesting dynamic a lot of times, for sure. Especially when you add on the fact that there's 3 girl dogs in the house too, and then it's 5-1, 6-1.
And what about with friends? Did you because that's another piece. It's, within the family, knowing your role as the father, trying to take care of the mother, but then things like friendships.
Well, I mean, we all kind of had young kids at the same time, so I think we were all kind of fighting for our lives around that time, right? Um, we have friends now that have had we've had friends that had kids really early ahead of the rest of us. I think they felt isolated and kind of alone because we weren't at that stage of life, right? Now we're at the tail end of kind of the kid years, and we've got friends that have young kids, right? So I think they're feeling that isolation a little bit themselves. But me, in that moment, nah, it was hard. Like I deliberately over the past few years since COVID basically have been not forcing myself, but trying to make sure that I have structured kind of habits with friends. So I do get out because otherwise it just doesn't happen, right?
Well, yeah, I see people at our Christmas party every year, and that's about it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have any other interaction. So you're really good. And I think that's like just bringing around. So, what do we do if you are a dad who's feeling lonely or some of the depression or anxiety? I mean, some of it's normal, obviously, if it's interfering with your ability to go to work and you're in the basement drinking,
Yeah.
maybe you want to reach out. But just those everyday things, like building that support network is really important, and establishing friends or strengthening friends.
Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations just from the male's perspective?
Yeah, I think it's kind of easy as a guy to do that. Like for the most part, guys are pretty simple creatures when it comes to that. And it could just be, yeah, I've got some friends that we've talked at length about the fact that they're at a stage of life where they've they've been very selective in the people that they do want to spend their time with. And I think naturally I've seen that with a lot of my friends. Like a lot of when you're younger, you kind of tolerate a lot of friendships or behaviors that maybe aren't really what you want. I found at the age that we're at now, a lot of guys just simply don't tolerate it, right? So with that, they are more specific or more deliberate in fostering the relationships that they want to foster, right? It's very easy for me. Like I've got tons of friends and people I know and like. I don't have a ton of close friends, but those friends, it really just comes down to just regular concentration, regular interaction, right? Like one friend, very close friend, has gone through a pretty monumental change in his personal life recently and openly said, I realize I've been a bad friend the past few years and I want to reconnect with people, right? That's important for him. And it's important for him to know that he can do that and he can and not a single one of us is like, no, you missed your chance. Like everyone's like, cool, let me know, right? I think it gets easier as the kids get older. I think when the kids were little, it's really tricky to like we knew a lot of people growing up. We've talked about this before. A lot of people get into a couples and kids kind of social dynamic where the kids are running around the house playing and everybody just sits around drinking and shooting. And that's cool. Like if that's what you want to do. That wasn't anything that we were ever into, right? So we missed out on some of that social stuff when the kids were little because that just wasn't our jam. So yeah, it was more deliberate, trying to reach out specifically to people I wanted to spend more time with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a two-way street of it. People reach out to me and they've been the ones driving that reconnection, right? So
yeah, sure. Because I think that's really important. And it is harder too, like if your partner is depressed. I mean, just being around that, how do you support each other and support yourself? I mean, if two people are depressed or even one in couples counseling, I wouldn't work with them as a couple. You need to address your own self, right? It's the same thing, like your own oxygen mask. What is it that you need? So connection, just going back to things that you enjoy. I mean, you used to ride your motorcycle. That used to be huge. You don't have that right now.
I haven't ridden it in 3 years.
But having those outlets are really important as well.
Yeah.
It's so funny. So many men right now that I work with who are in their 40s and 50s are getting motorcycles, and their wives all think that they're having midlife crisis or having affairs. And I'm like, and want their, partners to go to therapy. And I'm like, that's probably their therapy, being able to go and do that. So whatever the support looks like in terms of, or self-care, whatever that looks like, it's probably going to look different between each of you as well.
100%.
And so I think that that's important. So I think coming together and just collaborating, what is it that we need from each other? How can we support each other? I think that that's really important. And I know, like, you're going through a lot right now. What can I do to support you? What do you need from me?
That's the thing. Like what I'm going through isn't stuff that you necessarily need to. Like for me, it's there's nothing you can fix in the day-to-day stress. Just like I can't affect the day-to-day stress you've got to deal with. It's more about when that part of the day ends. I just need no stress, right? Like as much I crave peace and tranquility, and right, because I don't have that 20 of 24 hours a day, right? So for me, that's what I'm always looking for. And so for me, when it gets chaotic in our personal life, that's when I struggle even more, because there is no outlet then, right? It's one fire to another. And so yeah, I don't know if that's a direct what can you do, but that's typically when I know that I'm struggling the most, is when there's absolutely nowhere I can turn. There's peace and quiet, right? And it's funny because everybody always talks about how personable I am and how easily I am, and it's draining, right? As I get older, it's a lot. And that's why I am selective about who I spend my time with, because I don't have the time or the energy to fake some of the social interactions that are necessary at times, right? And so for me, I'm happy sitting in the backyard with no sound and nothing, but we have dogs, so it's never peaceful.
Right.
You have to go on the roof, and even then they'll find you.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the trick, right? Like for me, there's no one thing. It's about trying to construct parts of the day that offer that break, right? And like you and I on the weekend, we're both exhausted, like just exhausted. It was one of the first times both of us just did nothing, curled up on the love seat for a little bit and just zoned out, right? Snoozed. And that was awesome. Like, yeah, I still have a mountain of stuff that needs to get done. This house is an embarrassment to any adult, but it's all good. It's
like I can barely get to,
but it's all going to be there, right? Like the one thing I've also come to grips with is the work is never going to go away, right? But we've gotten really good at justifying why we need to keep busy and keep working, and that's just not the path, right?
And I think it really, like, I don't know why. I mean, it's been probably a couple of years now. I'm just talking about Frankel daily, but it's not about the final destination. And I don't want to sound like a cliche because it's all about the journey or whatever, but it really is. So just day by day, don't look at the long-term outcomes. It's about what can I do today that's meaningful, that I can connect, whether it's with my kids, with my spouse, with friends. What is it today that I need? What gratitude can I practice? What 5 minutes silence can I get? Like, it's just really setting the intention at the beginning of the day and making sure it happens at some point in the day. And that's really what life is, right? What's the meaning of life? Well, it's day by day. What's important right now? And what is it that you need? And how can you make this moment the most meaningful? And so, connecting with your kids, I think, is a big one. If they're sleeping, that's usually when we're, oh my gosh, gotta get on the computer and I gotta go do this and I gotta do that. What if you took 2 minutes and you just watched them sleep? Not creepily.
That's creepy though.
But and just be there mindfully in the moment. That's where life is. It's in the now. It's not on your computer. It's not from what happened yesterday. It's not the meeting that's coming up in an hour. It's right now is where life is.
Yeah.
And so it's just being able to pause and stop and in this moment. And I know it sounds cliche, but really that's what we need to do more of.
Well, and that's the thing, like the destination that we're all heading towards is the same. Right? Yeah. It's all the same. Like at some point, the lights are going to go out and that's it. Right? End scene. So I think, yeah, it's finding that balance between building the life that you want for your family without sacrificing life with your family. Right. And that's, I think, and we've talked about it a lot lately, that's absolutely what we're trying to reset and level set. Especially as the girls get older and start trying to carve out their own. Like I find a lot of my conversations with Maya, especially, is around, you need to think about this, right? You need to consider this. And it's not telling her what she needs to do. It's trying to convey the lessons that I'm finally getting clearer on as I get older so she can capitalize on it earlier, right? Same with Willow. It's because the path to happiness that we were sold was get through high school, go to university, get a good job, do all these things. It's no longer the world that exists anymore. So really, right? And the other part of it is you gotta ignore all the idiots that have unlimited access to your attention span and are telling you about all the things in life that you can get. And none of that, like I realize I sound like an old man, but if you stop and listen to half the people on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, it's all the same vapid nonsense. It's all meaningless. And so you have to really try and level set what, to your point, what is it today that's going to give you that sense of accomplishment and happiness, right?
Yeah. And play. More just laughter and play and lightness. I think life is so serious and everything is so serious. Well, I was actually for another podcast just chatting with the guy yesterday and all of his trauma and everything. It's all play with adults. And I'm reading a book right now, and it's about hunters and gatherers. Again, I love like reading about these, but they're all, they start learning through like how to hunt when they're 2 or 3 through play. But even as adults, it's still a play and they're having fun and it's not as serious. And, they were recounting a story about these Westerners. They were doing some expedition and, all the Westerners are cranky and irritable and stressed because they have to carry all of their gear and a canoe through the mountains to get to where they need to go. Whereas the indigenous people who are helping, at one point they drop the canoe and one guy gets pinned and they're all laughing, right? Everything is funny and how silly the canoe is. And, right? There's just that lightness. And then, so I read that story. And then you and I went for a walk yesterday morning with the dogs, and it was like, dogs, Yeah. Maya and I went, and exact same situation with the dogs. Like the puppy loves biting the other 2 dogs' leashes, and then the other 2 get upset. It's just all stressful. But Maya and I just laughed at how silly she was, and we do sometimes too. And like the walk was very different. Just when we have a little bit of laughter, you see that. And I think with our kids too, we got to bring that. Like there's so many things that our kids do that frustrate us, but when we take a step back and stay in the moment, they're actually pretty funny. It's pretty hilarious what kids do. Like I love talking about some of the stories that I hear that kids have gotten suspended for, like the kid in Willow's class who ordered Uber Eats in the middle of class to the school. It's hilarious. He got in so much trouble, but he's like, what? I was hungry. Like, I'm getting my needs. I'm like, you're a resilient, resourceful kid, right? And
Yeah.
like, that's funny stuff. There's so many stories like that. That's why I love working with kids. I know parents, they probably get frustrated because they're like, this is serious, Caroline. Like, but I'm like, this is hilarious. Your kid is hilarious.
Yeah. And we're all going to end up in the ground or in an oven, whichever you choose.
Yeah.
Right. So why make it any more less enjoyable?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So a bit of a side tangent there. But anyway, be happy. Well, not even be happy. It's not even that. Because you are going to worry. Happiness is a destination as well, right? There is no, it's very rare that people are actually happy throughout the day, right? It's very rare to feel joy even once through the day. It's just being in the moment, seeing the silliness of life and
trying to find those pockets.
Serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All righty.
Good day.
Good day.